Peace, family. Back again at you with more wisdom and knowledge, you know what I'm saying? An understanding of what's going on around you, understanding and understanding of the setup that these niggas have on you. Yeah, the simulation, you know what I'm saying? And here today we're going to explore the so-called what the byword that they like to call us, you know what I'm saying? African Americans, you know what I'm saying? Even here, you go somewhere, you want to fill a form, and you're going to see these choices. They're going to to show that are going to show in the contract, and the contract normally you will have the Black African American, Black African, European, all these bywords, people. And not now that once you're in the truth, man, you're just going to write other. You're not going to write no contract that you are a Black African American. You know what I'm saying? Because these guys, say we're gonna read about this, man. Who's this guy? The Reverend Jesse Jackson speaks on a radio broadcast from the headquarters of Operation Push, People United to Save Humanity, at its annual convention, Chicago, July 1973. They got a photo of him, you know what I'm saying? And this public domain, all right? So I'm showing you the guys over there. It's called Reverend. It's all Religio. You know what I'm saying? It's coming from the Religio. Reverend Jesse Jackson. Yeah, it's all coming from the church. Yeah, it's all Freemasonry going on. And I told you that these Negroes, I told you, they know that they claim they came from slavery and this and that, and they are nothing. They don't have land. They don't have nothing. So they were just assumed into a system that they claim after slavery. There's a system that they were free, you know what I'm saying? And they've been introduced to this system, you know what I'm saying? The beast system, and the beast system gave them names, called them by bywords, gave them names, gave them offices to work on, you know what I'm saying? But they still slaves because they're not owners of their persons, and they're not going to teach you that. They're going to deceive them. They deceive their children and everything that they are free people. They're not free. You know what I'm saying? And these dudes are there, are are gatekeepers. You know what I'm saying? These dudes are just gatekeepers because they have no land or resources or nothing to give these people, so they give them titles like you are Black African American, like this means something. Yeah, and they use it like because they have no land or nothing. They need this title, and they think that once they got this Black African American title, that this gives them what it takes to go forward. It could not be more further from the truth, brothers and sisters. It's all Freemasonic setup of Yahweh, you know what I'm saying? To have these Negroes in slavery permanently, to the Religio, of course. Let's finish. It speaks about this man down there. Operation Push, People United to Save Humanity. They tell you they want to save humanity. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? We see what they mean after the Jews. At this annual convention, Chicago, July 1973, photo, Wikimedia Commons, blah blah, public domain. Okay? Okay, we gotta just give a quick read on this, okay, and break it down so you know the position of the slaves, because they were slaves. Look, 34 years ago, a group of black leaders led by Reverend Jesse Jackson announced that black people would like to be called African Americans. I don't remember that, saying that I want to be called African Americans. But they telling you that so-called black people, which is a byword, would like to be called African Americans instead of blacks, which is a byword. Yeah. So just as we were called colored, but we're not that, and then Negro, but we're not that, to be called black is just as baseless. Jackson said at the news conference in December 1988, after meeting the group of black leaders, okay, black leaders. I don't want to talk about that right now. Let's continue. To be called African Americans has a cultural integrity. So how is it going to have a cultural integrity, something that is coming from a reverend, something that is coming from Religio? How is that your culture? It shows that you are a very, very lost people. It puts us in our proper historical context. Every ethnic group in this country has a reference to some land base. Right. But not the African Americans, do they? Some historical cultural base, African Americans have hit that level of cultural maturity, he said. That's bullshit, people, because the African Americans are not first, they're not even an ethnic group like they want to call them, okay? And they have no reference to some land base. They just exist in the air. They tell you, we came out of slavery. We have no land. You just been working for massa all this time with no land, with no payment. We just in the air paying taxes, That's what they're gonna tell you. So these dudes, they don't have no country as a reference or nothing. They have no resources of any type. The only resource that they're trying to build is is the title, calling themselves African Americans. You understand that? I mean, you understand that? Yeah. So, to some had issues with the name change and continue to do, the term was stuck for some more than 3 decades. In fact, many got to know about the term when Jackson started popularizing it in 1980s. Yeah, so you see that Jackson and these fellas was the one that had the idea, one-on-one, you know what I'm saying, with the Religio, Wazungo Religio, and they decided to call you Black African American, and he promoted it. Okay? That's what they're telling you that. But an article by Fred R. Shapiro from Yale shows that the term African American has been there long before the 1980s. Okay, this is propaganda now that they're throwing out. You know what I'm saying? This is all Freemasonry, as I told you. These guys, they put it all together. It's all religion. Shapiro said that while doing a routine search for the phrase in America's historical newspaper, in April 2015, he was shocked to find the term in a 1782 sermon. How the hell in 1782 Somebody was using this term, his stories. That's not that. These dudes, they can, don't forget, Google control all these books, all these historical books, and they can edit them anytime they want. They can put whatever the hell they want in there. And something that they give you a date, and now it shows up somewhere else, out of date. But they say it's all made up. That's how they fool you. The sermon titled A Sermon of on the Capture of Lord Cornwallis, Lord Cornwallis, and published in Philadelphia includes the byline by African American or Religio stuff. The sermon does not show the background of the preacher, but from his findings, Shapiro believed that a black person, people, from South Carolina who did not have the benefit of the liberal education wrote it. But Richard Newman, a scholar of the African American history, told Shapiro that he does not think that the author was black or a person of color, as the tone and style of the sermon are different from the black writing at the time. Edward Rogemer, an associate professor of African American Studies and History at Yale, is of the view that the author was black, considering the sermon was published in Philadelphia, where a lot of former slaves from Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware moved to after they were freed by their owners. People. But there's some confusion here, because if people were freed by their owners, why they didn't go back to their lands? Why they didn't get back their resources? People, were they freed, really? If they claim that they were freed slaves, yeah, they too went back to their lands. Or they were not freed then. Because if they took you from your land, enslaved you, well, when they stopped enslaving you, you should go back to your land. Why you didn't go back to your land and were not given your lands back? But what, you still hanging around there? And then what? You registered to that system? And they gave you your ID and told you who you are? That's what's going on, brothers and sisters. In the sermon, the author addresses my own complexion. You are my brethren, O Religio, my kinsmen according to the flesh, ye descendants of Africa, amid the debate over whether the author was black or not. Shapiro wants to make clear that before Jackson made the term African American popular, it was being used even during the days of American Republic. Okay, man, now they're going to convince you that this term was out there a long time ago, but nobody noticed. Only them. It is documented that in the 1880s, activist Romana Edlin, who was president of National Urban Coalition, was the one who urged Jackson to convince his fellow blacks to call themselves African Americans. People, calling ourselves African American is the first step in the cultural offensive, said Edlin. I wonder if this Edlin dude is an African American. He must be. Change here can change the world, of course. You see that? They want to use that as an agenda to change the world. But what do African Americans do for you? It does not give you your land back. It does not give you your freedom. You're still a person, a black person, like I told you that. You person, you're religio, you are a person. When you're baptized, you become a person. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, they show you in that document. Once you receive Jesus, you are a person, you are a slave. But you thought that you left slavery, right? You never left slavery. You just registered as a person and left hanging without land, without nothing, without your own government, or without your ID or nothing. They gave you everything, everything that you benefit from. You are a person. It took time before the change became effective, people. 3 years after Jackson called for the name change, only 15% used the term African American, while 72% still called themselves black. It's another brainwash, you know what I'm saying? Per 1991 survey by the Joint Center for Political Economic Studies in Washington, cited by blah 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 magazines, newafricanmagazine.com, but by 2003, almost half of blacks, whatever that is, were using the term African American. Only 35% preferred black, while 17% liked both terms. You see, people don't even like that term, like they proclaim and push, because they push it throughout the system. You know what I'm saying? Their contracts come with these terms. It's not you who had the idea to call yourself African American. It's them. And then they implement it through the system. And when you go file forms and stuff, they're gonna be like African American, and you're gonna put tick the box, tick the box, tick the box, which means they make a contract with you that you now African American. Whatever document they give you and it says that African American and you ticked it, that's what you are. Okay? To date, African American is widely used, but there are still those who are opposed to them, to the term. Sorry. The term ourselves as part of African reinforces sad implication that our history is basically slave ships, plantations, lynching, and that we need to look back to Mother Africa to feel good about ourselves. So why didn't you go back to Mother Africa when the slavery ended? And if you were a free man, and if they brought you over there, they should have brought you back. That's that. John McWhorter, I can spell these people, author of the book Authentically Black, who prefers to be called Black, was quoted by newsafricanmagazine.com. Way back in 80s, the Reverend B. Herbert Martin, another Reverend people, who was head of Chicago's Human Relations Commission, also thought the name change wasn't necessary, but he was quick to add, I think the title or name African American points us to a higher consciousness in terms of the origin of African people. How pathetic could that be? Such thing, people. How could that be pointing you into it? How calling yourself African Americans will point you into a higher consciousness in terms of origin of so-called African people? Does it make sense to you that you're going to find an artificial name that you created outside, even outside of so-called Africa? Yeah, you create that term in America, and then you're claiming that that term can point to us a higher consciousness? You kidding me? It's all a cube, people. I told you. It's all a cube. They created these words, and you need to learn grammar. because they create these words and they keep you inside. It's a contract. You know what I'm saying? So that's it, man. I want you guys to know that all of this is made by religios. You know what I'm saying? All these terms, African American, black, Moors, you know, even Negroes. Many of these terms, man, are all made by this religio. Is they, of course, people being resetting land like they're doing now. They're telling you even that we're resetting, we need to reset. That's what they do. So when they reset your land back then, they have to give you what, false IDs because they own your land. They gotta give you artificial ID. They gotta call you a person. Take your rights by religion because it's religion that took your rights in the first place. When you left slavery, during the slavery, what happened? They gave you the religion, yeah, the Christian religion, and you accepted it. Since you accepted, then they told you, okay, you don't need to be chaining you. Then you can just, be a Christian. That's it. You're a slave. Why? Because code of canon law, and this is like their law of Moses that they have there in the church. Yeah, that's the law of Moses itself that lives in the Church of Rome. Okay, and this is is a legal document, so it's not no BS here. It's not. I just wanted to show you something in this first line, chapter 1, the conical condition of physical persons. You can see here what this is all about. This is Code of Canon Law, Book General Norms, physical and juridic persons. See that? So you see that the conical condition of physical persons. Canon 96 by baptism, one is incorporated into the Church of Christ and is constituted a person in it with the duties and rights which are proper to Christians in keeping with the condition insofar as they are in ecclesiastical communication and unless legitimately issued sanction stands in the way. So until there is a sanction by baptism, yeah, you are a person. You are a conical physical person with the duties of and the rights which are proper to Christians. That's your rights. That's there. Don't tell me you an Israelite. Don't tell me you building nations. You an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? And that you are this. No. You've been baptized. All these Israelites, they've been baptized. Don't forget that. They were not Israelites when they were born. They were born Christians. Until recently, they find out that that this book really was work of the ancestors or whatever, and they thought, well, it's us. And then they start proclaiming that they are Israelites, but they are registered in the system in that they're part of this. Instead of they have no other way out. They're part of this, and they are African Americans people. And African Americans are persons, are Christian, and have the rights of Christians, of the Christian persons, because they are baptized, all of them. Stand up. So they have this thing that when you're 18, then you are a minor until you are 18. Where do you think this is coming from? It's coming from this conical law that defines them, You know what I'm saying? When they are kids, when find everything they do. It's not up. Because once they did this contract with them, they are part of that Religio setup. Okay, all these guys, they are all Religio. They are part of the Religio machine. Reverend Jesse Jackson, all of them. I'm not gonna be here telling you their names. You know what I'm saying? But because you know them, they call themselves black leaders. You know where they all coming from? The Church of Rome, with the Moors, with the Christians, with the Israelites, with the even these guys that tell you they from Kemet and they all in the same pockets of same the same nation, okay, same diaspora. That's what they call a diaspora. A whole lot of people, yeah, they have no, they are nothing. They are not nation. They are not. They have no land. They just a corporation. Okay, and in the corporation you get titles, and these titles nominate your rights and what you can do and not do that. That's not. It's not. But they don't have the capacity to to be their own nation. It's not that they are owned by. They are assets of the corporation that created them. Okay, including this dude. Including this dude is their asset. That's why you see him all his life. He's going to talk about the same thing. he's going. He's not going to change. His agenda is always the same because they all in a script. Religio, Cristiano script. That's it, man. I don't know how long this is going on, but I'm going to stop, people. Yeah, about half an hour. Yeah, man. I'm going to stop because I already told you there is no salvation if you don't know your ID. Yeah, if you have no land, if you don't know, you don't have resources, but you think that you have titles. Titles don't mean shit. Okay, you cannot go to a bank and say I'm an African American and they're gonna give you money. Okay, it's not. It doesn't work that way. You're not going to get a loan because you're an African American. You're not going to get a piece of land because you're an African American. Yeah? You're going to get nothing other than the words African American, which is a corporation. Okay? It's not it's not yours. It's a corporation that somebody else created. And you are a member. Well, you're not, I told you you're not a member, you are an asset. Because you have no, you know, you have no rights. Or because they give you the rights, you have no right to make your own rights. You can't make that yourself. Okay, that's all, man. Love you all. Give the instructions. Peace.